Hey, so this is Ramon Ray with RonTalksHomeschool.com. Cynthia, we're at the Greater Homeschool Convention, and welcome. Thanks for spending some time with me today.
My pleasure. Thanks.
So you've been helping not just homeschoolers, families for so many years, and I've heard you on Focus on the Family, have many of your books, and et cetera. So just as a recap, what are some of the things you talk to mothers mainly in the room here today? There's fathers as well. I know one thing you said there's two or three things that really our kids don't like about homeschool. I think that's the way it was. If I'm not saying it right, let me know. But can you recap those three things? I think it was very useful.
Well, it was three things that they don't like about school.
About school, yes.
Right. So, and the caution there with homeschool parents is you don't want to just duplicate school at home, because you have this incredible and unique opportunity to actually help change the way they think about learning, because you can experiment with some things and you can be a little more flexible and a lot more creative in some ways, or just understand a lot more. And the three things that kids seem to hate about formal schooling is that we focus on the wrong customer. In other words, we don't think about the learner. We think about what makes it easiest for us. And the second one, that we don't focus on strengths, that we really need to focus on the strengths and start from there rather than the weakness.
And I'm guilty of that so much, for sure.
Well, a lot of us are, to say, well, what do you need to improve, instead of saying, wow, you do this really well. How could we use that in order to help you improve in this area? And then the third thing, which is the one of the things I hate about school, is that it always seems like tests are the only accountability. And when you confuse tests with accountability, you get kids who, if they don't know how to take tests, may still very much have learned it, but not know how to prove that they learned it. So there are many other ways to still be accountable, but not necessarily have to take a standard test.
And you said so many gems today, and one of the things just to talk about I think could be useful is the aspects of that we don't focus on our children's strengths enough. And again, we could probably talk for hours about this. Your body of work is huge in this. But just recap for us from your heart, just what does that mean? Talk to the mothers and fathers out there, because I know I'm guilty of that. I have a strong-willed child to the core, the strongest-willed child you've ever seen in your life. But how do we focus on their strengths when it seems like the weaknesses so annoy us day in and day out? How do we do that?
Well, it helps to think about how they come to you with those raw strengths, like the strong-willed child. Of course, they come to you with a raging strong will maybe, but they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to use it in the right way. And again, as a parent, you probably married somebody opposite of you, and so you're going to get a child that's different sometimes than either of you. So your strengths are not going to necessarily match theirs. So just the ability to recognize, this really irritates me, but what about it shows a strength that we can start with? You wouldn't build a house on a shifting foundation. You build with the strengths, even if there are only two or three to start with. Then you can start with those strengths and use those to overcome the weakness or limitations.
Awesome. Cynthia, where can people find you at?
CynthiaTobias.com. And there are a lot of free resources on the drop-down menu, video clips, a lot of resources we try to keep up there, PDFs that you can print out right away.
God bless you and thank you.
Thank you.